Happy Halloween, guys. Some of you might already know our location is closed today, our physical location. We are hosting our level 1 today. So if you are still looking for a workout, we got the outside the box workout, and make sure you guys get after this one. This workout is for time of burpees, sit-ups, and double unders, and it's a descending rep scheme here. You don't need much equipment for this one, maybe a rope, but also there's a lot of variations you can substitute for your double unders today. This workout is meant to work on your aerobic capacity and kind of working towards that threshold there. What I mean by that is trying to get that intensity high. You're really huffing and puffing in this one, especially near the end there. And you want to think about gradually increasing your speed and trying to go at 100% at the end there to finish it off. The first 21s, 42 in the hundreds, will go a little slower. You're kind of gradually getting into it. 15, 30, and 75, you're picking up your pace. Then the 9, 18, and the 50s, you're just sprinting it off to finish it. With this workout here, mostly body weight, and you shouldn't be feeling much muscle fatigue in this one. This should be more of a lung burner. So if needed, if you find that you will get to muscle fatigue, for example, with the sit-ups, maybe start progressing it down. If you need to, don't go as high in your sit-ups. Or you can go for some crunches to substitute for that sit-up. Same thing with double unders. If you're not really strong with your double unders or able to go fast with them and keep a high intensity, we can split them up, go 50 doubles, 50 singles, or go all singles for those double unders. For this workout, guys, we're trying to aim to finish this within the 15-minute mark, around that range. This shouldn't be too much longer than 15 minutes or too much shorter than that. I would say somewhere between 10 to 15 would be average. And if you're going below 10, that's pretty good for this workout. Remember, guys, if you are feeling sore from yesterday, let's just use this as active recovery. So just get yourself moving. If you feel comfortable, start picking up your pace, but maybe hold on to it, maybe 60, 70% effort in the first little bit to kind of get yourself into it. After this workout, guys, we have some accessory work, and again, use this as active recovery. Do some single arm work, do some presses, and then some flies. So really work on the activation in the back there, in our scap, our lats there, making sure we're setting our shoulder before we do those movements. Hope you enjoyed today's workout and the afterburner. We'll see you next for the warm-up video.
Let's get ready to warm up here. Today's warm up is an AMRAP 6. So we're moving for 6 minutes. Okay, so it's not about doing 1 round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds. You move at the pace that you consider is a warm up, that gets your heart rate going elevated, that gets the muscles fired up in the movements that we're trying to get your hamstrings, your glutes, and your upper back muscles like your lats, your rhomboids. Focus on the area versus focusing on the speed or the rounds that you're doing today. Okay, get warmed up. So first movement, going for 30 double unders, 60 singles. So if you don't have a skipping rope, go into those hops. So hop, single tap, or maybe it's a double tap. So hop, double tap. Repeating that, guys. For the 30, for double unders would be the 30 hops with a double tap, okay, so that would be equivalent. When you're done that, from there you're going 5 per side of your single arm row. So find an object, be a band, could be a weight, kettlebell here in this case, guys. You're gonna lean forward. If you find it a little bit awkward, you don't have another object on the other hand, feel free to follow along. If your stance is a little bit off, feel free to go into that split lunge, okay, whatever feels comfortable. But the intention here is, again, squeeze your shoulder blades together, pull your shoulder blade back, start pulling that object by pushing and flexing your elbow, so pushing your elbow to the ceiling without shrugging forward. Okay, so shoulder blade back, flex your elbow, squeeze your armpit, right between your arm and your rib, guys. Keep that muscle nice and active. Extend that arm, retract, row, and going for 5 before you switch sides. After that, then you're going for 5 as well on both sides, your Bulgarian squat. So find an object that you can step back onto that is elevated. I'm choosing a smaller object because I know some of you guys may not have a taller object, but if possible, maybe it's the couch, maybe it's a chair. Picking a higher object to allow you to get into your hip flexion a little bit better. Lower object, you just need to get longer. Okay? From there, you're gonna go down. Think about knee go straight to the floor. Okay? Squeeze your butt to get that quad stretched out. Then drive through your heel to activate your hamstrings. At all times, you guys think about keeping your glutes nice and active so your pelvis is in a neutral position versus in this tilted position. So glute tight, core tight. As you're doing your Bulgarian squat, going for, again, 5 on both sides where you're trying to really fire up hamstrings and your glutes while keeping that core and hips in control, okay? And go for 6 minutes, get warmed up. Hopefully that gets the heart rate going for you. Where do you position your rope for your burpees? Then from there, you're gonna go into your burpees. So 3 to 5 burpees, finding that rhythm of what the speed is going to be. Are you stepping into it? Are you jumping up for it? Play around with it. What works for you? Okay?
Last movement, sit-ups. Again, guys, if you have an ab mat, great, you can use one, or if you want to roll up a sweater or a t-shirt to use as an object underneath your lower lumbar, this will allow you to open up that range of motion a little bit more in your sit-up. So again, with those sit-ups, guys, what I want to see, all the way back, chest where the shoulders touch the floor, hands can touch the floor on the way up. Remember those shoulders should at least make it to the hip crease. So if you imagine a hip line with that hip crease going straight up, they should be in the same line as that shoulder on the way up. I don't want you guys to be back here finishing your sit-up. I want you to be all the way through with your back and chest up nice and tall. So again, one more rep here, coming up, really tall, passing that hip plane. For those double unders, if you have them, let's work on those double unders today. If you're at that 30 range, for example, see if you can break them up into sets of 20, or if you want to try it, seeing if you can do bigger sets today. This is the great day to try and start, or a great workout to start doing that. If you don't have double unders, let's go single skips, or we can go for some running skips here, guys. Also, you can use that previous option from before, which is the double tap hop. So you're gonna keep the feet together, you're gonna jump up, double tap your sides for 60 reps total. All right, so we're here for the afterburner, 5 sets, 5 and 5 strict press, and then 5 and 5 single arm flies. So I got a dumbbell and a plate here. You guys can use whatever you have at home. Keep it light for the first couple rounds so you can really feel the upper back and using the proper muscles before you start getting heavy with this. So I'm going to demo with the 5-pound plate here. For the strict presses and the flies today, guys, let's try and focus on the positioning of our scap. So it's very common with the press, for example, to kind of almost overreach with that shoulder. So we're kind of pushing that shoulder out of its socket. I want you to keep the shoulder down. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge if you haven't done this or thought about this before, but keep the shoulder down. Think about pulling the shoulder blades towards each other, so squeezing them together to set that shoulder. Then from there, only just drive through that elbow as you go up and controlling the way down as you come down. Just make sure that shoulder is not moving out of its place. Kind of think of that as its foundation. Keep that foundation nice and strong. So holding it down with those lats, that's where it is, keeping it in that proper position, and then only just using that elbow to extend that weight overhead there. 5 reps there, guys, and then 5 reps on the opposite side. Feel free to use any position, so you can sit on the floor, legs straight, or in a straddle position. You guys can try anything for that strict press. For the flies, same idea here, guys. Might be a little bit harder to notice, but sometimes when you try to lift that weight up and it's a little bit too heavy, we almost want to use a little bit more of the traps to kind of lift it up to compensate. So again, right before you start, squeeze those shoulder blades together, keep that scap down, and then keep it slight bend in the elbow. Don't worry about keeping it nice and straight at first. Slight bend in the elbow, lift as high as you can while keeping that shoulder blade down, and then back down again. If it's only up to here, don't worry about going up in weight. Just try to see if you can go up a little bit higher each time without letting that shoulder roll forward or in any direction. So keep that nice and stable, and then increase your range of motion. Once you're comfortable getting it up to that shoulder height, at least, then you guys can go up in weight. Same thing as you can do it from a bent over position. So I'll bend over at the hips, slight bend in the elbow there, and then I'm gonna think about pulling that weight out to the side. While I do that, I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together and making sure I'm not shrugging forward. I'm keeping the shoulder blade down. So enjoy this one, guys. 5 to 5 reps on each side. Great unilateral work to work on that balance of the strength on both sides. Increase in weight if it feels good. If not, just work on the positioning of the shoulder blades. See you guys tomorrow for the next workout.